A great pleasure to invite Dr. Lois Flitch to sponsor our honorary graduand, Sam Heughan, for the degree of Doctor of Drama.
Chair, governors, members of academic board, graduands, and Sam. In the late 1980s, while creating the hero of a book she was writing, simply to practice the art of creating a novel, American science professor Diana Gabaldon drew on a TV character she remembered from her childhood. James Robert McCrimmon, usually simply called Jamie, was an 18th century clan piper who became an assistant to the second Doctor Who in the iconic TV series and travelled space and time with him in the TARDIS. The young Gabaldon, growing up in Arizona, loved Scott Jamie's fetching kilt and pig-headed gallantry. From these strong memories and decades later, the character of Jamie Fraser emerged as, and I quote, a strapping redhead Scottish clansman with a disarming sense of humour, intelligent, principled, as well as educated and worldly. So obviously a graduate of the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland was the most fitting match for this role, though to be clear, pig-headed gallantry does not currently feature in our list of graduate attributes. Diana was, of course, describing, without knowing it at the time, the actor Sam Heughan, who would go on to play Jamie Fraser in the TV series realised from the global phenomenon that is Outlander. Incidentally, Diana Gabaldon received an honorary doctorate from Glasgow University recently, and as such, Outlander is cleaning up in this higher education awards season. Sam, you joined the RSAMD in the first year of the new millennium, and there are many people in your life and within this community who recognised even then these qualities in the young man who had previously been involved in the Royal Lyceum Theatre, both behind stage and on it. You were born and brought up in Dumfries and Galloway and later Edinburgh, in a home where creativity was embraced, thanks to your very artistic mum, Chrissy, who I'm delighted is here with you today. Arriving at RCS, it was clear from the beginning you were one to watch, and you were recognised in the prizes for each year, winning the first year foil competition in 2001, the Elaine Campbell-Gullen Trophy for Speaking in Verse, and the Duncan McCrae Memorial Award for Speaking in Scots in 2002, and the R.C. Buchanan Prize in 2003. You're remembered most fondly, though, not for the citations and trophies inscribed with your name, like the Duncan McCrae Award outside the Athenaeum Theatre downstairs, but for the warmth, enthusiasm and commitment you showed to being a classmate, a student, a fellow artist and a friend. Asking your former tutors about you, their epithets are full of praise, highlighting your personality, your kindness, generosity and talent. During your time here, you performed in a range of classic works, including Chekhov's The Seagull, Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment, and Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, in which you played Romeo. While still at RCS, you were also cast in Outlying Islands, a new play by David Gregg, which premiered at the Traverse in Edinburgh before transferring to the Royal Court in London. And this is where you were nominated for a Laurence Olivier Award for Most Promising Performer. Joyce also tells me that she watched most of it like this through her hand because of the lack of clothing. This launched you on a career trajectory which has seen you be a powerful presence on both stage and screen. Of course, we know there are different mediums requiring very different skills, and you've moved between both with the fluency of someone anchored in their own authenticity, but versatile enough to play a range of eclectic characters, from hero Batman in the stage show Batman Live to a secret drug dealer in TV's Doctors, which saw you nominated as Villain of the Year in the British Soap Awards. You've taken on the portrayal of a range of icons too, from big screen phenomenon Paul Newman to the Scottish brewer Hugh Tennant, eccentric founder of the legendary Scottish beverage that is Tennant's Lager in a 125th anniversary TV campaign. You are fast becoming a legend yourself, and speaking of the eclectic, you were fearless enough to make a citizen's arrest during your stint in Batman Live, and yet fans of Outlander today crochet dolls of you in character as Jamie. Your success as an actor is matched by your credentials as an exceptionally generous, motivational human too. Your acting has enabled you to use your platform for positively impacting many lives. You are a hugely successful actor by any measure. Outlander alone has mind-boggling statistics. 6 seasons down and a 7th with filming underway, the series is known and loved by millions across the globe. The term Outlander is searched on Google 2.6 million times per month, with your character James Fraser being the most popular search. The series has helped put Scotland on the map as a filming location, touring destination, and the production itself has become an employment destination of choice for many RCS graduates from across our disciplines. No matter how new they are to the set or the industry, it's noted that they receive a warm welcome from you to the Outlander RCS alumni community. You are also a successful author, a New York Times bestsellers list #1 with co-author, collaborator, and your Outlander co-star, Graham McTavish, with whom you also make the heritage TV documentary series Men in Kilts, a project which has seen you share experiences of Scottish life, culture and history, from golf, cycling, throwing the hammer, to recreating battle scenes and sampling whiskey. In the whiskey world, you are an entrepreneur with your own gold medal winning brand, Sassenach, named after Jamie's nickname for his wife, Claire, in Outlander. On top of this, you're an active charity champion, putting in both your own resource and energy, as well as challenging the huge global influence you have, nearly 4 million followers on Instagram so far, towards important causes, including men's mental health and cancer charities. You are president of Blood Cancer UK Scotland, enabling funding for cancer research. Your love of fitness and the outdoors, which became important to you throughout your time growing up, is reflected through your own projects, such as fitness and wellbeing initiative, My Peak Challenge. This is a community organisation that brings people together to make a difference to themselves and others, raising money for charitable causes in the process. Community is key for you. You are also an active patron of Youth Theatre Arts Scotland, and crucially for us and for the future of theatre and creativity in Scotland, you give back here where it all started, supporting students through bursaries that make being here possible for them, as well as encouraging new writing and creative producing through the Sam Heughan Right Start Award. On behalf of everyone at RCS who has benefited and will do so in the future, a heartfelt thank you. I saw from one interview you did that for all your work that raises the profile of this country all over the world, you could make a pitch for King of Scotland. We can't quite offer you that, but we are proud that you are such an important part of the community here at RCS. For past achievements and what is undoubtedly still to come, it gives me great pleasure to commend you, Sam Heughan, for the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland's highest honour. I ask the Principal to confer the degree of Doctor of Drama Honoris Causa upon you, Sam Heughan.
Sam, by virtue of the powers granted by the Privy Council to the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland to confer an honorary degree of the Conservatoire upon any person it may deem worthy of such distinction, and in the name of the Academic Board, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Drama Honoris Causa. Many congratulations, Sam. Can I now invite Dr. Sam Heughan to address our graduates, please.
Joyce, you'll be pleased to know I'm keeping my clothes on for most of this. No. What did I write? Let's find out. Principal, members of the Conservatoire, fellow graduates, ladies and gentlemen, a huge congratulations to you, the graduates. I am honored to share in this special day with you all. It really is a first for me, so thank you. But what a mistake you've made. I certainly won't try to convince you I don't deserve the honor. Actors, well, we'll take what we can get. Thank you for lunch later today, Principal. I hope I don't have to pay for it. I would, however, like to thank the Conservatoire for bestowing on me this wonderful, wonderful honor, a doctor. I've played a few characters, but never a doctor. That is a first. But I would like to remind you, Principal, that after my first year on the BA acting course, a tutor, it wasn't Joyce, pulled me to one side and said the historic words, the quote that set my career in action. I won't do the voice. Sam Heughan, you cannot act. It was harsh. Pretty harsh, but pretty fair. It was my first taste of rejection, but joking aside, it really did help. It challenged me to work harder, to dig deeper and explore more. It hardened my resolve to succeed. Nothing and no one would stop me. No matter how many times I'd be rejected, I now planned to keep trying. But dear graduates, today is a first for you, your first graduation. You've succeeded this far. You have the foundations and a whole career of possibilities ahead of you. Yes, you too will face rejection, but also so much success. I'm willing you on. I want you to succeed, and I know you will. Your biggest fan will be yourself, so dream big, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Now, also a huge congratulations to the RCS. The RCS today is celebrating 175 years of excellence, so many achievements. We have students graduating not only from this year, but past years, delayed by the global pandemic. Now, I know it wasn't the plan, but we got through it, and I'm delighted that they can also graduate here today. As you, dear fellow graduates, look back on your past years here, do you remember your first day of classes? The anticipation and excitement of beginning something new. Now you have built this skeleton or foundation of skills. You're going to build each experience and opportunity, adding to your character, your career, and ultimately your journey. I cannot wait to see what you achieve. I remember my first main stage production, my first major role, my first girlfriend, cooking my first bowl of pasta in the halls of residence, my first hangover. Well, don't really remember that. My first main role, as mentioned before, I played Romeo in Romeo and Juliet. I remember walking to class down Montague Street in the West End, dreaming about my future, the possibilities, working in film and landing a job on a major US TV show. Well, some 22 years later, I'm back here, where I daydreamed. It was here that I first finally understood how to act, how to let go, to allow the character to control me. It was here that Romeo, having forgotten to pick up the fake knife left on the prop table in the wings, threatened to commit suicide and kill himself by choking himself to death. It's pretty difficult, I can assure you. It was either that or jump off the stage. But clearly, I still had a lot to learn, but it is strange that it is here where my first dream became a reality. It's here where I've been shooting a major US TV show. I've been able to relay the experience and lessons I learned in this very building. My first lead role in an international TV show, and one of the first episodes we shot in season 1, I remember we were on set in our brand new studios in Cumbernauld, not far from here. The room was filled with a bunch of hairy, smelly, kilt-wearing Scottish men covered in mud and blood and all fighting for a comfy chair. I guess similar to many lectures or classes that you've had. Perhaps not. I know it may have been a first for the nurse on duty in A&E recently, when a Native American Cherokee warrior in full battle dress limped into the reception with an arrow stuck in his thigh. I doubt the nurse's colleagues would have believed them, but we actually have around 150 First Nation Cree actors, mostly from Canada, that are populating Scotland's first Mohawk Longhouse village, not far from the Stirling services, just off the A9. It's a first for Scotland. And it's now actually doubling for the New World. America in the 1700s, populated by immigrants and natives alike. It is fascinating to learn that America was built on immigration, integration, and tolerance. A first, perhaps, for some of the Scots who left here and settled in the New World. I mention this as I myself have recently returned from New Zealand, where I created and produced my first TV show, Men in Kilts, exploring the culture and heritage of Aotearoa, the land of the long white cloud. It was a first for me to visit the islands down under, but also creating and producing a TV show. I've never would have imagined back then here in this building, or walking down Great Western Road on my way to movement class where we're working on being a tree or something, or daydreamed that it was possible to make my own work. I never imagined I'd write my first book or have a whiskey business or set up a scholarship for fellow students. I guess I didn't dream hard enough. What I'm saying is, whatever your dreams are or goals for the future, you can't even imagine the reality and future. The experience will be even bigger and more exciting than you can create. And of course, there'll always be someone telling you you can't act, or you may face obstacles like forgetting your knife or being shot in the leg with an arrow, whatever. But you'll adapt and grow. And I cannot wait to see what you achieve. Now, I'm sure as you'll come to the end of your adventure here at the Royal Conservatoire, you too will look back at all the memorable times you've had, the friends you've made. I'd like to thank the RCS on behalf of all the graduates here for giving them this unique experience and priceless opportunity. And on behalf of the RCS, I would like to ask the graduates to keep in touch and let them know what first new experiences you accomplish, within reason, of course. Now, armed with the experiences of the last few years, you've developed new thoughts, tastes, explored your chosen field, and made many discoveries. I wish you all the very best of luck on your chosen path. I'm sure it's been said today as many times as we do takes on Outlander, but to quote the RCS website motto, this conservatoire is like nowhere else. And it's true. You've had many wonderful first experiences here, and we'll have many, many more to come. This place has given you the greatest start, and I'm incredibly, incredibly excited for you. Congratulations to you all. Thank you, and enjoy your first glass of champagne. You deserve it. Thank you.